And the defense just filed this motion to preclude the prosecutor from going on as the prosecutor because his old firm has filed a civil suit against not only Stephen Jones, but his father. Now before we get into the specifics, if your old firm files a lawsuit, are you responsible? Are you connected? Is there any way to make that connection such that this prosecutor could be actually precluded?
Well, it seems like they're trying to allege that there's a conflict of interest here. However, it's not like this old firm represented Mr. Jones.
Right.
You know, they're adverse to Mr. Jones' interests the same way the district attorney is adverse to Mr. Jones' interests. So I don't really see the conflict. I mean, it does raise some questions about how much of the prosecutor's file is discoverable and should be turned over in the event of a civil lawsuit. But I view this as largely a delay tactic on the part of the defense.
What if the defense can make the case, and it seems like this is what they're doing, that a lot of the discovery in the criminal case was actually fishing for the civil case? And then in the criminal case, apparently, the prosecutor insisted on interviewing the father and took a file, a lot of notes, obviously, and had a transcript of that interview, which was never used in the criminal case, but now is the basis of a large part of the civil case. Would that change any bit of the conflict to such a degree that he should be disqualified? I
mean, look, I think it does raise some interesting questions that this guy happens to be from the firm that there's pursuing a civil suit. But look, when a criminal case is from the inception, there's an investigation, lots of evidence is uncovered. Some of it is relevant and will be presented at trial, and some of it is just going to be thrown in the garbage can or, put away in the filing cabinet.
Right.
And, I do think this is discoverable material. A lot of times, the basis for a civil case is the criminal case.
Of course, of course. And the other thing is, I think what a lot of people don't realize is people go from civil to criminal law, and a lot of prosecutors had a private practice before and then go back to private practice again, and we see that in government as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you start disqualifying people every time that they had some relationship to somebody, we'd have no one left to try cases.
Yeah, I mean, and look, the legal communities in a particular city, yes, there's a lot of lawyers, but they really are a small community. Everyone knows everyone or has a friend that knows someone.
Okay, they're telling me that the totality of darkness is on the screen for the solar eclipse. So we're going to show you that briefly. This is in, I believe, Oregon, where this eclipse is sort of moving across the United States. We're here in New York. We won't get the total eclipse here, but we will be getting a partial eclipse here. And what we're seeing on the screen is apparently the totality as it's seen in Oregon. As this continues to travel across the United States, people will continue to celebrate it, as they will. And in just a minute, Ken and I are going to talk about the legal implications of the eclipse and wondering whether or not 2 years from now we'll be sitting here watching an eclipse case. For right now, though, this is what you're seeing is the totality of the eclipse. This is only happening in certain parts of the United States. Not the entire United States will see this total darkness or total eclipse of the sun. As I said, here in New York, I think it's only about 60%, but it's certainly a once in a lifetime for many event, and I know that many people are watching it live and also on television. In many ways, perhaps you may be safer watching it on television, especially if you don't have the right glasses. So in just a minute, we are going to be talking about that. And in fact, why don't we talk about it now, Ken, since it's really the totality. We were talking a little bit about the potential exposure here. Let's talk first about the glasses. Where can the glasses lead to a potential lawsuit?
Look, I imagine that if these glass-making companies are savvy at all, that their lawyers are probably banging on their door, sending them emails. You better put all sorts of language in the materials that come with these glasses that say you assume the risk, that there's no guarantee that this will prevent any injury to your eyes or otherwise. Oh, you have a pair.
I just got some on my way in. So let's look and see if we see any fine print, because I agree with you that these should certainly have some fine print. So here's my glasses. I
think we should try them on.
All right, let's give them a shot. So these say that they are solar telescopes and filters. They're 2017 USA Total Eclipse glasses. They do say, so in the inside, they do say, warning, never look at the sun without special eye protection. Do not use if damaged. Using damaged glasses can result in severe eye injury. You've got to check them for scratches before you put them on, any pinholes or separation.
Yeah.
And it says, if damaged, cut into small pieces and discard. There's a legal reason for that, which we'll talk about in just a minute. It says not to clean with any commercial agents.
In big yellow, safe for direct solar viewing.
That's right. So listen, and it tells you
not a lot of
exactly
warning
how to wear them. So let's put them on.
Let's put them on. Let's
Ooh,
see. Oh, wow, these are really...
They are dark as... I can't see...
This is good.
I can't see anything through them, like not anything.
Wow, this is serious.
They are definitely, I mean, they're definitely complete darkness.
Yeah, this is definitely not my Ray-Bans, I'll tell you that.
No, we should make this, I was actually thinking that we should make this into a thing, but I can't make it into a thing because if I walk through the streets of New York with these on, I'll have another kind of
I think they might want to warn people not to be walking down the sidewalk while wearing these. Because you can't see even a centimeter in front of your face.
No, you're right. You're right, and that's another potential lawsuit. There is no warning that says, and in fact, they don't even say don't drive.
Can I wear these for the rest of the...
You can. You certainly can. But
don't drive. Can you imagine?
They don't even say don't drive. I mean, listen, some things, let's talk about the assumption of the risk. Because some things like driving, when you've got a pair of glasses like these that are literally black as night, you cannot see anything through them, it's common sense that you should not be driving with these on. So that type of thing, a jury, most lawyers would not take a case where someone said, you know, I drove with my glasses on.
I mean, all the same, I think you should kind of idiot-proof these legally.
Yeah.
You know, that's me being the voice of doom, maybe. But, you know, there should definitely be a do not drive on here. Because someone's going to be on the highway when the eclipse happens, and they're going to say, hey, I want to check this out. And, you know, the guy in front of them, that might not work out so well for him.
Yeah, there's definitely some potential danger. The other thing is, if you have glasses that are not, I mean, apparently these are NASA, although they don't say NASA cleared. We'll find out because I'm going to wear them when I'm looking at the eclipse. But if you buy a pair that you assume are appropriate, and they don't say anything specific that would make you think otherwise, and then you end up, God forbid, injured, do you have a potential lawsuit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing about this particular pair is that all over it says, do not use if damaged.
Right.
But it doesn't really specify, you know, what that damage could be. Some scratches, pinholes, separation, or, you know, if damaged, but like damage could be like, you know, it's bent a little bit. And they could always say, look, we told you,
well,
don't use it if it's damaged. You're assuming the risk now.
Right, as broad language as they can use. And the other thing they say is if it is damaged, cut into small pieces and discard. So now the onus is sort of on you to protect other people instead of just throwing them on the street where someone who is not a direct consumer could pick them up and use them. Instead, you're supposed to cut them up in order to prevent yourself from handing on the danger to somebody else.
Yeah, I also think, you know, there's so much publicity out there that's just saying, do not look at it. You know, it's going to be very beautiful, but please don't look at it.
Avert your eyes, exactly.
You know, avert your eyes from this amazing beauty that comes along once a century. But, you know, I think it's going to be very interesting. I bet there's going to be a few people suing.
Yeah, I would imagine so. The other thing that I think is interesting is if you're having one of these parties, these eclipse parties, you know, it's similar to being a host at other types of things where there's danger. And don't you think that it's especially if you're an employer who's having an eclipse party for your employees, I think that you want to consider some sort of a waiver.
Yeah, you definitely want a waiver. If you're going to have some sort of event that encourages people to look at this very risky eclipse, you know, where they could really damage their eyes permanently, they should definitely be signing some very strongly worded waivers.
This is why lawyers ruin everything.
I know, we ruin all the fun.
All fun is done when a lawyer is around.
All my clients, I represent a lot of restaurants, and anytime they have events, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't do this, this, and this. We got to get signatures on things, and they are like, oh God, you are the voice of doom.
It's true. It's true. No trampolines around me.
No trampolines.
That's not good. Definitely no trampolines in the eclipse. All right, guys, we bring on any questions you have about any liability with the eclipse. Ken and I will do our best to answer them. But it is worth noting that if you are injured as a result of this eclipse, there are lawyers who would likely be willing to take on the case depending on the circumstances. Hopefully everyone will be safe. Hopefully everyone will follow the directions on the glasses and as given to you by many people in the past couple days. But remember to be safe and take care of yourself. In the meantime, we're going to take you back to Zach Volpo. He was one of our favorite witnesses during the Stephen Jones case because he had that little attitude on